I started PC gaming in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That was me counting with my fingers, by the way. I'm almost 40 and I still do that. So that's 7 years, roughly, of PC gaming. And to be perfectly honest with you, 7 years is a drop of water in a bucket. That's the way I view it, at least. To someone on the outside looking in, they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Dan?" Like 7 years is pretty substantial amount of time to be a PC gamer, but to me it's not because PC gaming is like learning a language, right? 7 years. If you spent 7 years in a new country, yeah, you would know a nice amount of language. But to be honest with you, you would know enough to function. You would know enough to get from A to B and even hold a conversation, but you wouldn't be like a cunning linguist. Yeah, all right. So yeah, you wouldn't be that. You wouldn't be like super fluent in it or anything like that. But you would be good. You'd be like, yeah, he speaks good enough. Like we can hang out with him, and he can probably watch movies and understand a nice portion of it or whatever. Excuse me if my sound levels are off. I was playing Starfield recently, right? And I was like, oh, I'm not getting enough performance. Something's going on. My CPU is not really being taxed the way it should be, considering Starfield is a CPU intensive game, blah, 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 blah. I decided to do like a full factory reset. And, like the idiot that I am, lots of shit. I lost a lot of shit, even though I knew that was going to happen. But I forgot about the little nooks and crannies and settings and all that I've tweaked over the years having this PC that I totally forgot about. So everything these past 2 days has just been playing catch up. It's been just trying my best to get my PC as close to the way it was before the reset, and it's not fun. And yeah, I've experienced a bit of a bump in frame rates, but it's just fucking Starfield is such a massive and graphic intensive game that like I'm hearing that even on 1080p with like beefy graphic cards, people are still having problems running it. So PC gaming is a language to me. It's just something that you have to do for a long time. And I don't feel like 7 years is enough. I may be completely wrong. I may be in the minority. I don't look at polls or I don't have any type of reference or information to back up my claim. This is just all purely subjective. But I feel like 7 years is just not enough. So I can't hang with the big boys who've been playing, since, I've got a former coworker who has never even owned a console and scratch that he has. I think he has a PlayStation 2. I think that's the one and only console he's ever owned, and I don't think he even played it regularly. He was always a PC player, and this man is closer to his 60s, right? And good dude. And that blows my mind. He's been playing with PCs his entire life, and I'm just like he knows the language. Do you know what I mean? Like when I speak to him, he tells me about titles that I've never heard of because I was always a console dude up to 2016. And mind you, even in 2016, I wasn't fully committed to PC gaming. I still had a PS4 that I played primarily most of the time, and I just supplemented, some of my free time with PC gaming. So I wasn't even like full. I didn't even dive fully headfirst into PC gaming. I was just dipping my toe in it. It wasn't until, as time went on, 2018, 19, around that time, I started getting very serious with it. And now it's my primary mode of gaming. I even sold my Switch recently. If anybody's been listening to my shit these past couple of months or weeks, I would say, yeah, months. Months. Got to stop saying it like I'm pronouncing it with an F. Months. Months. Month. I finally finished Breath of the Wild. Sorry, Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, and awesome, fantastic game. There's nothing that I'm telling you that you haven't already heard. It's a game that's a must play. I overstay my welcome? Yes, I played the shit for over 3 months, probably four. And I felt like after about the 2.5 month mark, I felt like okay, I should probably start thinking about finishing this game. And it sucks because I spoiled it for myself. I I was just thinking like I'm trying to squeeze as much entertainment as I can out of this product. Also considering that I have a fucking Zelda tattoo on me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get sit here. I know that just sounded dumb and it didn't make no sense. Let me try to unpack that for you. I figured if I'm walking around with a Zelda tattoo, I'm gonna really put in some effort into this game. Does that sound stupid? Probably. Yeah, I don't blame you if it does. But in my mind, that kind of makes sense. It's like if I'm dedicated enough to get a Zelda tattoo, then I'm dedicated enough to like squeeze every drop of fun out of this game, right? It's like you don't get a tattoo of something and play it for 2 weeks and then just forget about it. That game has to genuinely suck or whatever mark you have on your body that happens to be a tattoo. Like you can have like a One Piece tattoo. I'm not into anime. I'm only saying One Piece because that seems to be what people are talking about, the live action joint that just came out recently, and people are like, I don't even know what they feel about it. I don't know. Whatever. If you have a One Piece tattoo, I'm assuming that you've watched more than one episode of One Piece. Yeah, I hope so, at least. So, anyways, I ended up selling my Switch. So that's the main reason. That's what I was basically trying to say. I sold my Switch, no longer have any a secondary mode of playing video games besides the phone, which I don't do. I do have this Ambernick though. That little retro console is fucking awesome. I gotta learn how to mess with this thing though. Like the ROMs on there, they blow. They're like speeded up and hacky, and they just weird. They don't function properly. So PC is strictly what I I just pressed. Sorry, I just pressed stop recording with my long ass pinky nail that I should fucking cut, but I did not. I think about all the crazy things, right, about PC gaming that like I wish I started early. I really did. It's still like even with a good roughly 7 years of being a PC player, I'm still lost. This is why I say it's a language. I only know a drop in the bucket. I know about, graphics cards and, I know about PSUs and CPUs and GPUs. I know about all that. I know about benchmarks. I know about Intel, Nvidia, AMD. I would say that I can, like, if someone who has been a PC gamer their entire life, I can walk in that conversation and hang for a bit until they get super technical. That's when, like, I watch these videos from, like, Linus and other dudes, the Jay's 2 Cents dude. I don't really watch him a lot. I probably watch maybe like 3 or 4 of his videos, but they pop up on my feed from time to time and I watch them, and they're great videos. They're good stuff, but they talk this language that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because my brain is very like simple. Well, for certain things, it's complex all the time. I'm always overthinking, and I'm my own worst enemy. But that's more into psychology. Let's continue this PC talk. My brain is just like, okay, I got all the answers that I needed from this video. Like, is this shit strong? Is this processor strong? Is this graphics card strong? Can it hang for a while? Is it sustainable? Can I keep this for 5 years? Okay, cool. I'm done. And then I feel like I get that answer maybe the first 5 minutes of the video, 10 minutes of the video, and then the rest of the video is just them getting into numbers and just min maxing. If that I don't even know if you can you apply that to can you apply that term min maxing to PC parts and PC process? I don't know. What I'm saying is they really get into there. Like they dissect. Same thing with Linus. I was talking about Jay's 2 Cents, but like Linus dude, he or his crew, they do the same thing. They really get in there, which makes sense, because that's what you have to do. If you're going to review something, you got to review something. You got to get into the nooks and crannies. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to pull out those spreadsheets and those boring numbers. But to me, it's just like if I got my answer, my simple brain is kind of just like, okay, I don't really need to. I don't need that. All that other information is irrelevant to me. I know it's fast. Now you're telling me how fast it is, and you're drawing out spreadsheets and shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm trying to think of the segue of me bringing that. So that's how my brain processes PC gaming right now. It's just like I know it's just a better way, and I guess if I can remember, I'll get right back into that. But one of the things that's been bothering me recently, considering I've been a console gamer for most of my life, I've been so far now at the age that I'm in, I have played way more consoles than I have played PCs. I'm trying to change that. Hopefully, I'll live another 30 years, and I can say, yeah, I'm definitely been playing PCs for that long. But one of the hot topics, one of the most trendy, popular things that are happening right now with consoles is the PlayStation Plus price hike. right? It's originally was like $65 after taxes, something like that for the entire year. Now it's shot up to like 80, which I'm assuming is going to be like 85 after taxes. And of course, the initial reaction from the general public is just like, fuck you, PlayStation. I'm canceling. I'm going to PC. They're free. And I'm trying to be, that's my first reaction too. I'm not going to lie. That's just, it's a little maddening when I hear that. It maddens me because I think of greed, right? Other people are comparing, you know, PlayStation's PlayStation Plus service to Microsoft's. I forgot what's it called. Is it Xbox? Their Xbox membership, is it Gold, or I don't know. I can't get into the specifics of that, but they're saying PlayStation enthusiasts are basically saying, well, Xbox didn't raise up their prices, so what the fuck are you talking about? Because you're getting this generic ass explanation from the PlayStation executives as to why they did the price hike, and their explanation is something along the lines of, in order for us to continue giving you fantastic service, we need to do a price hike in order for us to give you value. And it's just some like, what? It sounds corporate as fuck. Like there's no, it's like you just, okay, sounds like something you would read in the back of like I don't know, a fucking, I don't know. So just a real corporate. I don't want to say anything too specific, or else I might be liable, or I may sound this way or that way, or whatever. Corporations are 100% in on their images, so they always got to release some generalized statement. So I'm trying to fight the urge to go, fuck that, I'm glad I'm PC. I don't have to pay for no subscription service, which I am. I'm totally fucking happy. And I fight the urge to say this to my friends and coworkers. I do, because I'm better than that. I would like to think so. Especially someone coming from consoles, I just feel like I'm bullshitting. Not bullshitting, but like I feel like I'm being an asshole. Anyways, point is the price hike like justifiable? Can you justify that? Can you say, yeah, everything else is rising? The cost of living, the cost of food, the cost of rent, the cost of technology. Of course, we're going to raise up the cost of the PlayStation Plus subscription. And we can get into specifics in that, right? It's like, all right, well, why are prices going up? Is it because of inflation? Okay, what's causing inflation? Is inflation artificial? Are they intentionally making things expensive because they know we'll pay for it? Or are things getting expensive because that is generally the way of nature? Like okay, in order for us to continue to provide you with these certain materials, or this certain apartment or food or whatever it is, gas, whatever, we need to raise the costs, right? Like, is inflation a thing that's artificial and made up just to make more money? There's no real reason to do it. Or is there a genuine reason? Because if there is a genuine reason, then I can see how the PlayStation Plus subscription is justifiable, right? But if there isn't, if you just say, oh, they're raising their prices just because they want more money, then that sucks, right? Which that seems to be the number one case here, right? Like, at least according to the general consensus of PlayStation's audience, right? I like how I said that, PlayStation's audience. Like, I haven't been playing PlayStation since PlayStation 1, but I'm no longer in that audience. But point is, that to me, that's what it seems like. That would suck, right? If it came, and there's no real way you can prove it, right? You'll go down a rabbit hole trying to prove that is $80, $85 a month justifiable coming from 65. Do you really need to do that shit? But you already have the PC gamers screaming from the rooftop, aha, we don't pay for that shit. And I'm trying to fight the urge to not be one of those dudes. And it sucks because I have lots of friends, and that play, they can afford it. And don't get me wrong, at least my friends can. I'm not speaking about you or anybody in general. My friends can totally afford to pay $85 a month, but they're not happy. And when does it stop? Like, when was the last price hike? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I wish I could have researched this, but I didn't know this whole episode was going to turn to a price hike episode. But I wonder, when was the last price hike? Was it in the last 5 years? Is this a trend? I don't know. But PC gaming, besides the price hike, PC gaming is like it really is like learning a language. That's probably the best metaphor, analogy, whatever I can give you, because you're struggling and you're fumbling at first because of all these tech terms and all these settings and all these programs. Like I'm still like, just today, bro, I was having a hard time just setting up MSI Afterburner. And that's like a staple for PC gamers, at least more serious PC gamers. They want to see how well a game does. They want to overclock. They want to do that. MSI Afterburner is the shit. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I had to look up stuff online and open up Task Manager. Dude, I feel like such a goddamn newbie, and it's been 7 years, dude. 7 years, and I'm still just running around, just fumbling, just fumbling my way through PC gaming. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm fumbling. Will I ever get to my friend who's 60? Will I ever get to his level where he's just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing here. He's not super tech savvy. Like, he doesn't run MSI, and he's like 60 years old. I'm pretty sure he's never even heard of MSI Afterburner. I would be super surprised if he does, if he did hear about it. But he's pretty savvy about everything else, about games, about settings, and kind of about settings. But point is, I understand that you don't have to be super hardcore to enjoy PC gaming, right? You can be sort of kind of casual, even though you will be forced to do some legwork when it comes to PC gaming, to adjust some settings and to learn some language and to learn some program talk and jargon that you normally wouldn't learn while you playing console games. You there will be some forced learning here, and that's good though, because it helps you grow. Which leads me to think about my metaphor about PC gaming being a language, because you're just fumbling your way, like I am, through the beginning. But as time goes on, you eventually become fluent in this language, and you know what you're doing with video games. Not only that, it makes you a way better savvy and efficient consumer. So like, when I first started gaming, I just bought oh, look, gaming laptop, nice, cheap. Oh no, not cheap. And then I bought it from Best Buy. Like, the reason I said cheap, not cheap, is because the prices were fluctuating around this time, like they always do. And it was like, it was a not yeah, GTX 1650, which is, it's cool for like light gaming, but the shit that I wanted to do with it, no, it's not. Like, I wanted to play AAA titles with, for like 4 gigs of VRAM or whatever, and I'm like, that's not gonna do nothing unless I play in like fucking 480p or something like that, and even then it'll probably still struggle. But that's good for, like, indie gaming and light gaming on low, because I have played some and you know what? Scratch that. I remember playing Outriders. Yeah, I know. No one really liked that game. I enjoyed the shit out that game, Outriders. I don't care what anyone says. Fuck y'all. No, I'm joking. I feel like more people should have gave that a chance. That game was dope. Anyways, I know it's probably like me and like 4 other people who said that. Whatever. I played that game on high in my 1650 with my 1650. Can you believe that shit? And it was like 60 frames per second, because that's all I need. I don't need 90 or whatever. I'm not a competitive gamer or anything like that. And plus, you get into that territory of like, oh, can the human eye see more than 60 frames per second? I personally, I can. Is it a huge difference? Not really, but someone's gonna disagree with me and someone's gonna agree with me. It all depends on who you're talking about. So you get to become a better consumer. You get to become you learn how to, now my next PC, this is my second PC here. Both of them have been gaming laptops. I did have a desktop in 2016 that I bought from my brother. I can't even tell you what processor or GPU that had. I know that both were Radeons. That's all I know. And they weren't good. They weren't good at the time. Eventually I gave that one away. I wish I could remember what was like my hardware on that, but I don't. So this would be my third PC, all in all, and I got a RTX 3060 here, 6 gigs, which is okay for what I want to do, which is 1080p on high. Right now I can run Starfield with Starfield. So far it's been beautiful. Whatever. Point is, I can run Starfield in my Tiger Lake Intel. It's 11800H, and my RTX 3060. It's the laptop edition, so it's only 6 gigs of VRAM. I can run it on high settings, Starfield, but the frame rates are like a little high 30s. It plays like a console. It plays like it's like 33 frames per second, and then it boosts up to like 45, and it stays at 45 for a while. Then it goes back down to like 33, right? And then when I'm indoors or less graphic intensive areas, it's 60 frames per second. So they're kind of all over the place, and I can see how that would annoy someone. You just want a consistent frame rate, right, from the beginning to the end. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me as much because I'm so used to console gaming. But I can tell if someone is a PC enthusiast and they were playing my setup, they were playing on my rig, they were playing Starfield, they would lose their mind. You know what I mean? But now, when I bought this, I knew I needed more VRAM. I know I needed better specs, and I still didn't do a great job because my language was baby, my computer language. That's what we're going to call it. My PC language, my PC learning, my expertise, my learning level was at like a baby level. It's like at an infant level. So I bought this without knowing too much. I wasn't a smart consumer. Now I'm a much better consumer. Now I know that my next PC, whenever that would be, I'm hoping that I can get, I know this is going to sound dumb, but 5 years out of this. So far, I'm going on almost 2 years with this gaming laptop. I told myself 3 years minimum, 5 years maximum. So if I can do at least 3 years and nothing craps out and I can still play AAA games, hopefully 60 frames per second, 1080p, I'll be the happiest motherfucker alive. But if that doesn't happen, then this is going to have to go and I'm going to have to possibly move to a desktop and become like a real full-fledged PC gamer. I've never, of course, I can't build you a PC. I've never even tried. It's intimidating to me. But that's not the only reason why I don't want to do it. I just don't want to fuck things up. So it's like a mixture of intimidation and also a mixture of like my clumsy hands destroying something. It's destroying something very expensive, by the way, because graphics cards, as you already know, aren't cheap. So maybe in the future, maybe my language will get better in the 10-year mark, 15-year mark when I'm fucking making PCs. That'll be dope. And I know that there's very extensive and comprehensive guides into making your PC, much better than, before the internet. Like before the internet blew up and took off, before YouTube came into circulation, like people were just building PCs with just either paper instructions or just fucking good old elbow grease and this part goes there, this part goes there, just using their own intellect. They were just raw dogging it. And that's amazing to me. That's like those people that could build you furniture with just a piece of wood and a knife. I can make you a fucking table right now with this tree trunk. And you're just like, damn. Like, they make me feel useless. Like I don't know shit. But I do want to keep this going. I don't ever see myself going back to consoles. That's for sure. This price hike thing left a bad taste in my mouth, as well as many people who are console gamers currently. Because I see the trajectory. I see it's not going to stop, and I understand that that's life, right? The price on things go up. Look at all the things that you still use today. That you have gotten newer versions of. They don't cost as much as they used to. So I understand there has to be some sort of leeway. Like these people who are just upset that the price has gone up, they have to also understand that things do go up eventually. Now the question here is, the argument would be like, did they need to go up? That's a whole separate ball game there. But eventually, those prices were going to go up, whether it's now, whether it's later. Like, there's no way PlayStation is going to keep it at $65 a year forever. So you mean like the PlayStation 8 comes out, they're still going to be $65 a month? That doesn't sound like it makes, the math ain't mathing. It doesn't sound like it's making sense in my head. But I don't know anything about business. I don't know anything about, embargoes and the rarity of parts and shipping costs and trade relations. That's all that goes into price. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot of people forget that, but I don't feel like the average person takes all of that into account. It ain't just like the company goes, all right, we're gonna just raise this up, although that does happen. But I don't feel like in this case that's the case. I know that sounds controversial, but because most people feel like it's just PlayStation being greedy. But I don't know. I guess because I've seen too many things in my life go up. So I feel like just PlayStation going up to me in my life, it's just like, okay, of course that's gonna happen. Don't like it, don't agree with it, but of course that's gonna happen. Whatever. I do wish that, as far as like, I ha- I was just talking to myself earlier, right? And technically, I'm talking to myself now because there's nobody in my apartment and it's just me here. So yeah, technically, I'm talking to myself now. But I was just thinking a couple of hours ago, right? I was like, I was like, God, I got to make a video. It's been a while. But not only that, also I was just like, okay, if you have like my brother, his setup is ridiculous. I think he has the RTX 40 some shit 4080 49. I can't even tell you, but I just know it's a very expensive card. It's very beefy, and he has like he told me it's going on 5K monitor, 4K. I, I swear he said 5K. I don't know if that's true. Maybe he was maybe he was embellishing a little bit, but I swear he wrote 5K, and I remember just going like, why, but is he wrong? Like, if you're gonna go to PC gaming, why not go hard? Right? That's the reason you go to PC gaming, because you want the best picture that a video game can possibly give you. Right? Why? I can't argue with that. Is it overkill for me, for Danny? Yes, 100% is overkill. I don't need all that. However, if you want to play basic like me, if you want to be a practical gamer like me, and most people who play PC, they play on 1080p, like at least according to like Steam's rankings or their analytics, right? Most people in this world play games on 1080p. I would call that practical. If I want to play a practical game, then I'll just go to console, right? Because they're the ones that quote unquote optimize your game for you, right? You can't really fidget around with the settings like that anymore, or and at pretty much any time as long as consoles have been in existence. Minor adjustments in the menus, not nowhere near as extensive as a PC game. But point is, if I wanted to play an average game on an average TV with average power, then I'll just get a console. That sounds like a dig. I'm not trying to say that the new PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox Series XX, whatever, those confuse me too. I'm not saying that they aren't powerful systems. They totally are, but they're not as powerful as like a 4090, an RTX 4090 or whatever. And the Radeons, I can't even give you the fucking names of the Radeons. They're so, I'd be like a Radeon R9005 XXX, and I can't remember that, bro. There's no way I'll remember that. But point is, why not go hard, right? If you're gonna go to PC gaming. So I understand where he's coming from, although I feel like it's overkill. But I can't find a middle ground here, right? Like, cause me being a practical gamer and my brother being an extreme gamer that needs like all the best parts or whatever, like, I can't say he's wrong, but I can't say that I'm right. And I understand at the end I'm gonna cop out. I can give you the cop out, you know, answer that everyone gives you, which is it all depends on you. Sometimes you don't want to hear that shit. Sometimes you don't want to hear it all depends on you. What do you want? No, sometimes you want, no, this is better. This is fucking better. This is a better way to do it. All right. It ain't what you want. It's not what you fucking want. All right. This is better. That's like those people that say my truth. This is my truth. No, no, no. The truth is the truth. You can't customize the truth. You can't go, this is my truth and this is your truth. You can't, no, the truth is the truth. You don't just break it apart and make it personal. The truth is the truth. What the fuck was I going with that? Whatever. Maybe I should beef up my PC a little more. Well, I can't because laptops aren't customizable. But point is, maybe my next laptop, whether it's 2, 3 years down the line, I'm hoping give me at least 2 more years, dude. I want to do 5, but I know that sounds unrealistic. But if I can at least, if this thing right here can at least run until 2025, I'd be like, all right, call it a day. Thank you, my Omen HP here. But maybe that ain't no maybe. I'm definitely gonna have a much beefier PC for my next choice. But it ain't gonna be nothing on the level. It ain't gonna be like no 4090 or whatever my brother has, like 4080, 4070, 4060, something like that. It's gonna be something close to it. Like I can tell you this, it ain't gonna be 6 gigs of VRAM, and I know that shouldn't be the only determining factor in buying a PC, but I'm just saying it ain't gonna be that. It's gonna be something nice. I'm also seeing that Intel's making their own GPUs. That's pretty dope too. Although I don't know anyone who has one, but whatever. Point is, I got a lot to learn, man. And 7 years in the grand scheme of things, that ain't shit, man. That's nothing. I still got a lot to learn, and not when I say a lot to learn, I'm not just talking about like PC lingo or programs, or I haven't even built my own PC yet, so I can't even call myself a genuine bona fide PC enthusiast. Yes, I understand you don't have to build a PC to be a PC gamer, but like, come on, man, that's like the rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like, that needs to happen. I don't know, maybe in the future, maybe I'll look it up. Maybe it'll be cheaper. Because here I'm gonna say something very sinful, but I don't mind buying pre-builts. I know, and I know, I know. I remember I said that, and I'm dating a girl, and her brother like gave me this look because he's a PC gamer. He's the one that builds his own shit. Like, he's much more savvier than I am. So I talk to him from time to time about things, and he gave me this look like, "How dare you?" Like, it was like personal, like, for him, and I was just like, "All right, all right, all right, all right." But I don't. Sometimes pre-builds have some pretty cool fucking hardware, man. I mean, I understand they give you a cheap ass power supply and some cheap ass like Bluetooth, and all the peripherals are just, they're basically Amazon cardboard with like buttons on them. That's basically what it is. I understand that, but like the main things, you can get a pre-built and kind of just take out some parts, kind of like do reverse engineering and add some, because that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking about getting, and then changing out the power supply, maybe the Wi-Fi thing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited, and I know it sounds dumb because I've been doing it for 7 years, and yes, it may not be a long time, but it's still 7 fucking years of my life. I am still excited. I really do mean that. Like, I still find myself going like, yeah, man. I'm always reading about technology, what's coming out. You know, DLSS. That's been cool. I'm playing Remnant now. I'm playing a couple of games. I play Remnant with some friends at night usually, and my computer can run it well for the most part, but DLSS, I believe that's how you say it, right? NVIDIA's DLSS. That, yeah. For those who don't know, it's like this technology that boosts frame rates by doing some sort of fucking witchcraft, because it still looks great. Still looks phenomenal. It looks like, in some cases, some people say it looks better than the actual native resolution, which I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy. But that's been a lifesaver. I hope that gets implemented in more games, which it will. New games, that lead newer games, and so maybe maybe there'll be a time 5-10 years from now where like your chipset doesn't even really matter that much, right? Because it seems like that's the direction we're moving into. Like like you can have an outdated chipset, a chipset that's 5, 6, 7 years old, but DLSS is just carrying you throughout the new games. Or AMD's version, FXSR, I think it's called. I don't know. Once again, when it comes to like AMD, they love their like fucking X's and their fucking, I can't remember numbers, man. If Thank God we speak with letters. Thank God our language is letters, not numbers, because I would be like genuinely illiterate. Like, I wouldn't be able. I'll drool while I'm talking. Math, I can't even divide properly. I'm not great at it. I'm not proud of it. I'm just being honest. Whatever. I can never pronounce fucking AMD's graphics cards. Their fucking processing witchcraft programs. But I will say that maybe we'll get to that level in life where, in PC gaming, where it's like you don't that the chipset doesn't matter as much. It's more of like what version of this. In my case, it would be the DLSS. Like, I think I'm saying that correctly. I hope I am. I hope it's not like DSLL, whatever. Like, maybe that's just gonna carry the game. That'll be cool. And what kind of complications would arise from that too, right? Like, won't Nvidia or hardware manufacturers of some sort, AMD, Intel, won't they lose money if they don't sell hardware? Like, if the software gets so good, What's the point of upgrading? And let's say some people hold on to their graphics cards and a little longer than usual because of DLSS. Like, when companies lose money because every year they're not getting the maximum amount of people to go out there and buy a new chipset. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't know these things. I just know that I'm here for it. It's exciting times. I hope that prices don't continue skyrocketing, because at one during the pandemic it was stupid. That's when I first bought the GTX 1651. I bought it for way more than it was. Right now, I can go to places like my local PC shop. It's like Micro Center, and you can buy a 1650 for like $450, like a whole pre-built. Which, once again, I know pre-builts aren't the greatest, but still, like, that you get a whole fucking computer that you can just plug and play for like 450. I bought mine for like $1,000, which was like way overpriced. But I don't know. I hope that the prices continue to get better. It's almost you know, like you have to wait for a certain time period to buy these parts. Like, oh, right now it's safe to buy, and then after that it just goes right back to being expensive. It's like they fluctuate so rapidly, and you never can tell what the length would be. Was it going to be a long period where prices are expensive? Is it going to be a short period? Either way, I'm here for it. Um, Whatever, man. I know here's the full house moment of the week, Like, this is the part where everybody goes, "Aw," after what I'm about to say, but it is true. This is what I genuinely think, although it sounds kind of sitcomish, but like, as long as you're playing video games, you're gonna be all right. Aw. I do mean that though. Like, whether it's on mobile, ugh, or whether it's like PC, whether it's on console, whether it's cloud gaming, if that's still a thing. I'm joking, I know it is, but it's just, Stadia, was it? Yeah. But as long as you're playing video games and you're enjoying it, and also the fact that you can pick up a mobile phone and you can play a full RPG, you can play an MMO, you can play a competitive shooter. Like, that blows my mind. That, like, we're so spoiled for choice, and no matter what platform you choose, you're gonna have a game that's for you. Like, if I ever was, I'm leaving the country for the first time soon. I don't want to say where I'm going, but or when, but it'll be the first time I ever leave the country. By the time you hear this, I probably already left and came back. But point is, what if I'm stuck? I don't bring none of my video game. I bring my Switch from time, or I used to bring my Switch before I sold it. And I was just thinking, like, I love video gaming every night. Like, after I finish working, after I finish working out, I like to take a shower, eat like a piece of fruit, because I'm doing this dieting thing, just in case you're wondering. And I also love fruit. Eat a piece of fruit, sit down while I'm nice and clean and showered up, have a little drink, usually like club soda with like vodka. And before, it used to be weed. I used to just smoke weed and I never used to drink as much. For some reason, when I smoked a lot of weed, I didn't drink. Point is, I used to sit in front of the monitor, and that's my favorite time to just to unwind and to just relax. My favorite time is at nighttime, in the wee hours of the morning, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And I was just thinking, like, if I don't bring my material, I don't bring anything. I don't bring my laptop. All I bring is my phone now. And I'm thinking, like, what if I get stuck in this place, this foreign place, with nothing to play, nothing to do? What if it's like raining outside, which happened to one of my friends recently, actually. She went to South Korea, and I think it was like storming outside or something like that. And she just stood indoor for an entire day. And I was just like, man, that fucking sucks. Like, you're supposed to be out there exploring. And I was just thinking, like, how can I play a game? How can if I'm josing? Oh yeah, my phone. I know that sounds dumb, right? But because you'd be like, of course you can play a game, but it's like, we didn't have that 10 years ago, and if the games weren't as complex, they were like, Candy Crush type games, like basic little arcadey puzzles or whatever. But it's just cool to know to close this thing on out, because as usual, I'm being long winded, but I don't know no other way to be, baby.
to close this thing on out, I am gonna say that as long as you're playing a game, you really don't have to be a, what's the word, stickler, or you don't have to be all strict about it. Just find something you like and play it. That's the At the end of the day, like for a long, long time, I never cared about specs or anything like that. I was a console player. All I know, me press button, console go on. That's all I knew for a very, very long time. And now it's not like that. Now I'm spending hours just trying to optimize Starfield to give me 5 more FPS. How times have changed. Keep playing, no matter what you play on. Fuck everyone else who says you shouldn't do it this way and you should do it that way. Always do it your way. Always do it your way, man. With everything in general. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. I'm a psychiatrist. No, I'm not. See you guys.